In Napoleon Hill's book, How to Own Your Own Mind, which is a book I highly recommend, in this book, Hill is having a conversation with Andrew Carnegie. And actually, Andrew Carnegie kind of baited Hill into taking the direction in his life that he wanted him to take. He brought Hill into a conversation. Hill was going to go on, I think he was going to become a lawyer or something, or he wanted to go down that path. And Andrew Carnegie saw him as the type of person who would take the ball and run with it. So he made him an offer to take the information from the conversations he had with him and come out with a whole philosophy on it and write book. And from this book, or from this set of conversations, became the book Think and Grow Rich, and became basically the foundation work for all of the stuff that the Napoleon Hill Foundation is presenting today. And it's really interesting because in the conversations he has with Andrew Carnegie, this took place back in the, I don't know, the 1900s, the early 1900s. And if you read the book, it's almost as if he was talking about it today with the kind of information that he brings around. And he talks about the use of what he calls creative vision. He says there's two types of creativity. There's two types of imagination: synthetic imagination and creative imagination. And he says synthetic imagination is pulling ideas that other people have used in other businesses or other technology fields and just maybe modifying them in a little different way and applying them to your field or to the area that you're working in. And we see this all in a lot of inventions that happen today. They take something from this industry and they apply it to that industry. Apple's famous for that. They took to create the Apple iPhone, they took processes from various different methods of manufacturing, and they brought them into manufacturing the iPhone with those techniques were never used before in that context. And then he talks about what he calls creative imagination. And creative imagination is thinking of specifically new ideas. And he talks about specific inventors like Thomas Edison. And Edison says that he only had one real idea that came totally from creativity, and that was the dictaphone, or the recording device. It was the first device for recording. And what he wanted to do was make something, and he basically meditated on it for a long period of time, and was thinking about it over and over again. And then all of a sudden, basically the vision popped into his head on how to create this device, and he wrote it down, and he was able to make this in like the first iteration that they put together. Pretty much worked out of the box, which was pretty amazing. But even Edison says that was one of the only ideas that was totally creative imagination. Most of his other ideas were called synthetic imagination, where they took ideas from someone else and they reformulated it and they made it work. Even a light bulb, he took from other people who were trying to do inventions and stuff, and he kind of worked it into the light bulb. So the light bulb wasn't a brand new invention that he thought of, although the way he created it was he had to draw from a lot of different experiences in different fields in order to get the light bulb to work. And he tried, like, I think it was like over 10,000 variations of creating a light bulb before he finally got one that worked and was on the correct path of creating a light bulb. So as you can see, there's these two different types of imagination. Put in the comments or send me a comment or some feedback and tell me where you've used either synthetic imagination, where you took ideas from some other genre and applied it to whatever you were working on, or where you had brand new ideas on something where you applied it and you did something totally creative, which the world has never seen before.